Climate change experts say we are in the midst of the sixth great extinction, and the United Nations warns that 1 million species worldwide are at risk of dying off due to habitat loss and pollution. That's a lot of bad news in two simple sentences, but there is some good news too. Thanks to the Friends of the Valle de Oro National Wildlife Refuge, we end our show this week by looking back at another of our terrific Our Land segments. Correspondent Laura Paskus explores the group's unique program that helps people make a difference in their own backyard.
For most of us, the problems of climate change and its impacts feel overwhelming. Often it seems like there's not much one person or one family can do to help wildlife, especially if you live in a city. But Laurel Ladwig, a graduate student at the University of New Mexico, has some ideas to help wildlife and also connect with nature.
Albuquerque ABQ Backyard Refuge program is a major partnership between tons of organizations here in the city. The Friends of Valle de Oro got it started and brought all these people together to create habitat for wildlife here in the urban area.
Valle de Oro National Wildlife Refuge is an urban refuge on a former dairy farm in Albuquerque's South Valley. And the goal of the Backyard Refuge program is to create islands of wildlife habitat to support and connect urban wildlife to Valle de Oro and other public lands in the area. Laurel says creating a backyard refuge is a way of sharing our space and intentionally creating places for wildlife. And it doesn't have to be hard.
If you don't have a lot of time and money to invest, all you have to do is do a few things like leaving leaf litter. Don't rake up all of your leaves. Leave some spots that have where butterflies can lay their eggs underneath and other bugs can hide, and those bugs can be found by spotted towies poking around, and thrashers and all sorts of great birds.
In Albuquerque's Midtown neighborhood, landscape architect Jill Brown has already turned her backyard into a refuge, and it's a place she and her family spend a lot of time.
The yard is a combination of outdoor living plus the wildlife and just a nice aesthetic design. So we have hummingbirds, bees, butterflies, using a lot of these plants in here.
You don't have to be a landscape architect to participate in the Backyard Refuge program. In fact, you don't even need a backyard. There are things that you can do at your apartment that make a difference for wildlife and for you. I'm not a landscape architect and I don't have a ton of time or money, but having wildlife habitat in my backyard is important to me. And so I asked the program's Judith Phillips to come on over and give me some ideas. So how would you fill in some of the holes for wildlife here?
Well, that wall is a great wall for maybe the native clematis, the western virgin's bower. Well, just more layers. So you could put some ground cover, something maybe like the native 4 o'clock in front of the chickens, or one of the evening primroses. They attract hawk moths, and that would drive the chickens crazy.
At my own house, I've spent plenty of time ripping up landscaping fabric that doesn't allow water to seep into the ground and reach tree roots, and hauling off gravel.
I think it was a really unfortunate thing that people interpreted xeriscape as meaning pull out the plants and spread rock everywhere. Because that's not what it was about at all. And I really think that the only reason that happened is because that's sort of a no-brainer. Plants are so much more interesting and they support so much more life that they're all around more healthful for people as well as for wildlife.
Judith says people should come up with a plan before heading to the nursery. Think about what you have space for, if you're looking for low-to-the-ground plants or something that will grow bigger. And understand when plants bloom so your new plants support wildlife from spring all the way through summer and fall. And yes, sometimes neighbors' question changes. Even in Albuquerque, some people want manicured lawns, and they're used to seeing non-native plants. If you participate in the program, you can get a yard sign that helps people understand what you're doing. And Judith has other ideas too.
I also think that good ideas spread down the block, and so when people I really always try, and when I'm designing a landscape, put several things that are really showy out front so that the neighbors will walk by and say, what is that? And then pretty soon there's one a few houses down. And it's, some of the plants are quite irresistible. I know they follow me home from nurseries, right?
For Laurel, the Backyard Refuge program is a way to change the idea we have that nature is out of place in our cities and suburbs. By providing microhabitats, we can create a mosaic across our city for wildlife. That's especially important as the climate changes. Some plants will survive better than others as the region warms, and wildlife will face greater and greater challenges.
Actively taking care of something, especially in your yard, makes them almost part of your family. Really paying attention to how they live their lives and thinking about how you might be able to make that easier in this very challenging time. So that act of caring is very fulfilling and important for the wildlife.
For Our Land and New Mexico in Focus, I'm Laura Paskus.